Hey, what's up everybody? I know it's been a minute since I made a video. I always make them during finals time. It's finals time during law school right now. And yesterday I was talking to my good friends and it occurred to me, and I wanted to share this with y'all, that next year when I graduate law school, I'll be talking about, I have like the greatest opportunity. I'm able to speak at my graduation. And it clicked in my head that next year my father, who, mind you, had barely graduated high school, my mother, who is the first woman ever educated in my entire ancestry, which is insane, will be there to come and support me. When I graduated undergraduate, in my own head, it wasn't a big accomplishment. You know what I mean? Because everyone's telling you, oh, this is just a piece of paper, whatever, yada yada. But it's not. Do you understand? It made me cry last night when I thought about the idea of, from my father's perspective, a man who's worked his entire life 14 hours a day since I was a young kid, to see me, his son, grow up and do big things and fucking graduate law school. You know what I mean? So when I hear people talk about how hard school is, it's a joke to me. Do you understand? It's like, I'm saying this all because I know someone else can relate to this story. When I was a young kid, people used to tell me that I was special needs, that I was stupid, that I would never, accomplish anything, that I was in all the remedial classes. And I had to beg one of my professors, or one of my teachers, when I was in the 6th grade or 7th grade, I think, to please let me into the higher level math. You know, at the time they told me, Joe, like, no one really ever does that. No one ever asks to be placed in a higher education class. I don't think you're gonna do well. My teacher, white lady, bless her heart, but she heard my voice and she let me in. When I was in that class, mind you, one of the only colored people in the fucking class, I was number 2 in the fucking class. Do you understand? From there, I was accepted into all the honors programs, all the stupid bullshit prestige programs. Only fucking brown person there. Do you understand? Same fucking thing with law school. I am one of like 5 colored people in my entire class of like 160 people. Do you understand? It's insane. I go to national conferences for tax and bankruptcy. Those are like the fucking hard classes, mind you. They're not the easiest classes you could be taking in law school. And I'm always the only colored person there. The only colored guy in the conferences. In a year, mind you, I've been going to conferences for over a year for these programs. I'm the only colored person. I've met 2 colored people in both programs. When I met that colored person, they were excited to see me, and they took the steps outside of their own, like, no one does. Like, for example, I went to a meeting. He was like a guest speaker there, and he was talking to the students. I private messaged him because it's on Zoom, right? Because it's Zoom law school right now. And I was like, hey, how many hours of work you work a week, right? This guy, prestigious Muslim guy ahead of me, he recognized that, you know, I'm a colored person in the same situation, only colored guy who's taking a Friday off to go to some tax meeting. He's like, hey, why don't you stay after and we'll talk about it. We get into talking about it, and, you know, he's just giving me life advice at this point. Because how few people are here. Do you understand? Just keep going, man. Just stay motivated. Just keep getting after it. I always think that when I talk about this, you know, it's incredible to think that everyone in my community back home knows who I am. You know, every brown person, every Punjabi person knows, hey, Jyoth's going to law school. Oh, you have a question about law school? Why don't you ask Jyoth? You know, I'm just a person, right? I'm just someone who believed in myself enough to make the steps to come here, right? But at the same time, for my community, it's a big deal. My mom, dad are so proud that they tell everyone, oh, hey, look, you know, I don't go around telling that shit, but they go. Because why the fuck not? Do you understand? From their perspective, I'll give you a great example. One day, a letter comes to my house about loan forgiveness. You know, the 10-year, if you stay in a government job working, they give you loan forgiveness if, you know, you meet a certain criteria. My mom comes to me very excited. Hey, Jot, excellent news came in the mail. The government's offering free loan forgiveness if you stay for 10 years. I said, Mom, they send that to every person who's in law school. You don't have to worry about it. That's like, it's not a big deal. And my mom corrected me. She's like, no, Jot, you don't understand. When we were growing up, mind you, both my parents are from India, these opportunities weren't given to people. Jot, this is a big deal, they say. You know what I mean? Check yourself. Check yourself. I'm not like these fucking people. These people who are in law school with me, I goddamn love them, God bless them. But we're not close to the same. You understand? Every brown person back home looked to me. Hey, look, Joe's doing this. You can do this. So keep fucking going. Keep your chest up. You know, someone I grew up with, it's not very close. You know, just someone I worked out with, like seen in the gym since I was a young kid. We went to the same high school, same middle school. One time I was talking to him. I didn't even know he knew I was going to law school. I don't really talk about it like that. People who know people who need to know. And he goes, Jot, he's a construction worker now. He's been doing construction since high school, right? And he said, Jot, like, I wish I was smart like you, you know, because I was asking him, I was trying to like get a construction job for the summer, like try to get some extra money. He's like, Jot, don't do it. I said, why not? He's like, you're gonna get sucked in. He's like, Jot, you're too smart to fucking do construction. Please don't do it. Just someone I know, man. It's that looking out. He's like, don't do it, man. You're gonna get sucked in. He's like, you're too fucking smart. I said, bro, you could do this shit. He's like, nah, man, I can't do that shit. It's too hard. People who are younger will look to me to see that they can do it. When I'm applying for federal clerkship or like jobs in courthouses throughout the US, there are no brown people at all. At all. From my hometown, there's one woman who is Asian. Do you understand? There are 20 spots in the courthouse. One. It's a fucking big deal, man. So keep fucking going. Remember why you're doing this shit. Remember why you're passionate about this shit. Don't give it up, man. Shit is hard. It's not easy. I am recording this on what I think to be 9 fucking textbooks. Do you understand? These are thick boys. They're like this big each. This shit's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. You understand? It's hard stuff, but you're hard. You can work hard. You can be better. If it's tough, be tougher. You know, that's the mentality we grew up with as kids, man. I always talk, like, coming up, I'm in a spot where there's not a lot of diversity, obviously. And the colored people I talk to are usually people who parents are well off, right? They're not the same growing up situation that I was. And it's such a privilege and a blessing to be here, man. Every fucking day. I wake up, you know, I thank God, man. Thank you for letting me live another day so I can push this shit forward. You know, I really believe that if I die early, I die young. Someone in my family died really young, you know. I always believe that really, that someone else who maybe I don't even fucking know, you know, just some young kid in my community back home will hear about the story, and that'll push them to push the torch more forward. You know? Just keep pushing it forward, man. Just keep working on it so that younger kids and younger people, they can see and say, shit, man, I can do it too. That's what it is about everything in life, man. When you are happier, when you are less judgmental of yourself, for the love of God, when this is the fucking circumstances, I hope to God you're on your own fucking side. Do you understand? I hope that you at least believe in yourself to the point where, you know, my mom, dad, they can't help me here. They don't fucking know anything about law. They don't know anything about this shit. They don't know anything about goddamn capital gains and income tax. Nothing. You know what I mean? This is all me. But without them, I wouldn't be here. Without them, I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I'm at, you know? it's the constant knowing that it's my choice to be here. I'm fucking here for a reason. Motherfuckers who are third, fourth generation law students, sure man, they can fuck around. They can, oh, this is just a backup because their mom, dad, you know, whatever, they have a law firm that they can back up on. No, that's not the case for me. When in 10 years from now, back to the guy in the tax meeting, the Muslim guy, when I asked him, I was like, hey man, like, I forget what I asked him, but his response was pretty much essentially, you know, the only reason I'm here on a Friday afternoon, and mind you, he's working for a huge firm, right? Working probably God knows how many hours. The only reason he's here is to meet people like me. He's like, because when I was going to, because mind you, he went to a tax master's after, which is a very hard thing to get into. After law school, you have to be like your top third of your class to even apply for the programs, and even then, if you get accepted, good luck, right? And he was saying like, man, the only reason I'm even in these meetings is to meet someone like you, me, brown guy, who is aspiring to do the same shit. Because he said when he was doing the law school 10 years ago, there was no brown guy on the other side who could tell you, yeah, man, this is how you do it. This is what you want to do. When I was signing up for classes, no one told me, hey, Jot, maybe you should not take classes that are this amount of difficulty. No one told me, hey, you know, most people I knew at the law school were taking 3 exams first semester. I was taking 5 fucking exams. Not because I wasn't guided. Like, I asked for guidance all the time. Hey, what classes should I be taking? Why should I be taking this? I even went to the dean of students. Hey, what should I be doing? She said these classes. She's like, oh, you know, Joe, this seems like a little bit of a lot of a schedule. What she should have said is don't fucking take this many classes. But no one's going to tell me that shit. Because I'm the first fucking person here. So when I leave here and I'm a successful attorney, I can come back to law school. I can point someone who's in my situation and I can guide them, because that's what every fucking privileged person has. Someone to tutor them, someone to push them forward. Man, remember why the fuck you signed up for this shit. Do you understand? We're learning in con law, constitutional law, all the fucking time. This shit is not old, this discrimination shit, man. Not old. Less than 30 years. Women weren't even allowed in the military institutes because they were women. Do you understand? This discrimination shit doesn't end. Or this discrimination shit isn't old. Keep pushing it. Keep fucking pushing the envelope. Just keep going, baby. You got this. All day. Chest out, shoulders back, chin up. Smile when you look at these motherfuckers in the eyes. Because you're here. And God bless that you're here. Alright? Just keep going. Just keep fucking going. No one wants you to keep going. No one wants you to be fucking here right now. But you do. You got goals and aspirations. I'm sure you got doubts. Everyone's got fucking doubts. But believe in yourself. Bet on yourself, man. When you bet on yourself, you never fucking lose. Maybe you're wrong sometimes. But what do you got to lose when you're wrong? What do you got to lose when you look stupid? Who gives a fuck if I look stupid in front of 160 people who are fucking geniuses? These people are not, do you understand? This is the upper echelon. To be even in law school, you have to be, the statistic is like 1 out of 300 people are lawyers in the US. 1 out of 300. So you're comparing yourself to 1 out of 0.33% of the population? And you consider yourself an idiot? Are you crazy? No, baby. You have made it. Keep fucking going. And in your head, you're talking to these fucking privileged ass people who are like, oh man, I hate law school. Fuck that shit, baby. I love this shit. I love this shit. I'm out here doing what my mother could have never done. First woman ever educated in her in my ancestry. She was never allowed to do this shit. So you saying that I'm gonna drag my feet while I'm in here? Get the fuck out of here, baby. Sorry, there's a lot of energy here. I have a lot of finals this week. And here I am taking the time to make this video, so hopefully maybe one day it touches even one person, where it motivates them and maybe it pushes them forward. Keep pushing the envelope. Keep going. You got this. Believe in yourself. Have a great day. Safe.